one thing at a time.
Good morning and welcome to Reno Buddhist Center, and we're so delighted and happy to see all of your friendly faces here this morning, and good morning to those of you at home watching us on your screens. We are happy to share this precious Dharma time together. Sorry for the little bit of delay this morning. We had a blown fuse, so very important to keep the air circulating, and thank you so much for helping us with that. We are gathered today to just relax, find some peace and calm, and listen to the Dharma, and just settle. There's too much going on in our lives. Just take some time to sit and settle. It's very important. We will begin with our 3 homages, and our chanting, as always, will just be in our heads so that we don't share our breath too much. So just kind of use it as a meditation grounding time to honor the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, the 3 pillars, the 3 jewels of Buddhism. So we will also be mind chanting our Shoshinge, and that was written over 800 years ago by our Shin Buddhist founder, Shinran Shonin. That is our Shoshinge book. It's in the seat back pocket in front of you. You're welcome to read along or just sit and listen and just let the positive vibrations go through your body. That's the most important thing. You don't have to understand what it all means. It's just important to feel it, let it enter you. Shinran wanted us to know that our life's journey is more than just a simple journey from cradle to grave, that we are responsible for learning from the past and extending our lives into the future, a long, unbroken thread of life. So we are helping to extend that thread into the future by our good actions. We also offer incense during the chanting, and everyone is encouraged to come up and share a gift in gratitude to the infinite wisdom and compassion of the universe, Amida Buddha. We will go row by row, starting from the front, and just take your time. It's like a walking meditation, honoring the distance between people, and just don't be in a hurry. There's nowhere to go, no place to be but right here. And so just be mindful and calm. So those of you at home, please offer incense or water or food or flowers or anything you want at your home altar, and chant your little hearts out as breathy as you want, because you're at home. So the burning of incense is a cleansing of the mind and body before receiving the Dharma. So it's another way to give a gift in gratitude and also just settle your mind, cleanse your mind. So let us do this in gratitude and compassion. Thank you. Myomuryong Junyorai Namu Fukashigi-ko Ozobosai ni
3 homages.
Unam Saranam Gacchami Dhammam Saranam Gacchami Sam Sangam Saranam Gacchami.
Shoshinge. Kimyo-muryo-ju-nyo-rai Namu-fuka-shigi-ko Ozo-bo-sai-ni-ji Zai-sei-ji-zai-o-busho Token-sho-bu-jo-do-in Kokudo-nin-den Shizen-maku Konru-mu-jo-shu-shogan Choho-kei-u-dai-gu-zei Koko-shi-yui-shi-shou-ju Ju-se-myo-sho-mon-ji-po Fu-ho-mu-ryo-mu-hen-ko Muge-mu-tai-ko-en-no Shoujo-kangi-chi-e-ko Fudan-nan-shi-mu-sho-ko Shōnichi-ga-ko-shō-jin-sei Isai-gunjo-mu-ko-shō Hongam-yogo-shōjo-go Shishin-shingyo-gan-ni-in Joto-gakusho-dai-ne-han Hishi-mendo-ganjo-ju Yorai-shōgi-ko-shūsei Yui-sei-mi-da-hong-gong-kai Gojoku-wakuji-gunjo-kai Oshin-yorai-ryo-jitun-gon No-ho-ichinen-ki-ai-shin Fudan-bon-no-toku-ne-han Honsho-gyaku-ho-sai-ryu Ryoshu-shin-yu-kai-ichi-ni Seishu-shin-ko-jo-shogo Ino-sui-ha-mu-myo-wan Tonnai-shin-zo-shi-un-mu Joku-shin-ji-shin-jin-ten Inyo-ni-ko-fu-un-mu Un-mu-shige-myo-mu-wan Gyakushin-ken-kyo-dai-kyo-ki Soku-o-chōzei-go-wakushu Isai-zen-maku-bon-bu-nin Mon-shin-yo-rai-ru-zei-gan Un-gon-ko-dai-shōge-sha Zei-nin-yo-fun-ga-ri-ke Ridabu-hong-gan-nen-bu Jahen-kyo-ma-gakushu-jo Shingyo-ju-ji-jin-ni-nan Nan-shu-shi-na-mu-ka-shi Ino-saiten-shi-ron-ge Chukaji-chi-ki-shi-ko-so Kendai-shoko-sei-sho-i Myo-nyo-rai-hon-zei-o-ki Shaka-nyo-rai-yo-ga-sen Ishu-ro-nyo-ra-ten-jiku Ryuju-dai-ji-shu-to-sei Shit-no-zai-ha-u-mu-ken Sensei-dai-jo-mu-jo-ho Shokangi-ji-sho-wa-naku Kenji-nan-gyo-roku-roku Shingyo-hi-gyo-shi-gyo-raku Okunen-mi-da-bu-hong-gan Jinen-soku-ji-ryu-gunjo Yui-yo-jo-sho-nyo-rai-o Oho-dai-hi-gu-zei-on Tenjin-bo-sa-zo-ron-sei Kim-yo-mu-ge-kon-yo-rai Eishu-tara-ken-shin-ji Kosen-o-cho-dai-sei-gan Koyu-hong-gan-mi-ki-e-ko Iyo-gunjo-sho-i-shin Kinyu-ku-doku-dai-ho-kai Hirnyaku-nyu-dai-e-shu-shu Tokushi-renge-zo-sei-tai So-sho-shin-yo-ho-sho-shin Yubon-no-ringen-jin-zu Nyu-shon-ji-on-ji-o-ge Honji-don-gan-ryo-ten-shi Jokoran-sho-o-sarai Sanzo-ru-shi-ju-jo-kyo Honsho-sen-gyo-ki-raku-ho Tenjin-bo-sa-on-ju-ge Hoyo-in-ga-ken-sei-gan Ogene-ko-yu-ta-iki
少女詩印有新人惑前本部新人法承知承知即内藩非死無量根陽道小宇宙上開復系同社継承論難症有名浄土活入万全自力変言宗円満特語感染症三風三神慶音言増魔法明道非因異生増悪地偶税思案妙解消妙解全道六妙無償意公愛上三両逆悪公明明語慶二年開入本願大智慧両者小樹金剛心狂気一年総合両位大東逆三人即所本省市上楽現鎮公開一大教返帰安養可二祭先祖終身反戦人法慶二道小弁流極十悪人類勝負大薬剤非正集中煩悩証言水不見大義無見上昇が本次元空行仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教書本編集戦弱本願具悪性現代生寺林伝芸形式異常異常死即入弱上無意楽一時信心に納入仏教大義修士と上妻無縁極弱悪王族自修道心唯過心し丈夫のこの方は今に自己をへたまえりほしのこうりきわもなあくせのもよを照らすなり
栄光安にしくどくよどせいさ
We'd like to invite the children and parents, if they'd like to accompany, with Reverend Shelley outside for the children's program on the lawn, next to the Nembutsu stone. We can sing them out with Let the Buddha Walk With You. Oops, we can't sing, just in case.
Good morning. Adita Pariyaya Sutra, a discourse on fire. Thus I have heard. On one occasion, the Buddha was living in Gayasya, the elephant head rock, together with 1,000 new students. There he pondered, what kind of Dharma talk would be suitable for them? Then he realized, in the past, they worshipped ritual fire morning and evening. I will teach them the impermanence of the senses and their objects, burning and blazing. In this way, they will be able to understand. So he addressed his students. Students, all is burning. And what is the all that is burning? The I is burning. Forms are burning. I consciousness is burning. I contact is burning. Also, what it seems to be pleasant or painful or neutral arising from eye contact, that too is burning. Burning with what? Burning with the fire of wanting, with the fire of hate, the fire of delusion. I say it is burning with birth, aging, and death, with sorrow, with lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. In the same way, the ear and its objects are burning. Sound is burning. In the same way, the nose is burning. Odors are burning. In the same way, the tongue is burning. Flavors are burning. In the same way, the body is burning, and what it touches is burning. In the same way, the mind is burning. Ideas are burning. Mind consciousness is burning. Mind contact is burning. Also, whatever is thought of as pleasant or painful or neutral arising from mind contact, that too is burning. Burning with what? Burning with the fire of clinging, with the fire of hate, with the fire of delusion. I say it is burning with birth, aging, and death, with sorrow, with lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. Students, when a noble follower who has heard and seen this truth, he is no longer beguiled by the eye. He's disenchanted with form, finds disenchantment in eye consciousness, in eye contact, and whatever it seems to be pleasant or painful or neutral, in that too he finds disenchanting. He is disenchanted with the ear, with sounds. He is disenchanted with the nose, with odors. He is disenchanted with the tongue, with flavors. He is disenchanted with the body, with things when touched. He finds disenchantment in the mind, finds disenchantment in ideas, finds disenchantment in mind consciousness, finds disenchantment in mind contact, and whatever is thought of as pleasant or painful or neutral when considered. In that too he finds disenchantment. When he is disenchanted, passion fades. With the fading of passion, he is liberated. When liberated, there is the knowledge, I am liberated. He understands birth is done, the spiritual life lived. What can be done is done. Of this there is just joy beyond. That is what the Buddha said. The students were glad, and they approved of his words. During his utterance, the hearts of those 1,000 new students were liberated, and the stains of clinging no longer distorted their heart. There will now be a moment of silence accompanied by music for meditation.
Okay. Can you hear me? I feel as though I am less amplified. Is that in the back? Can you hear me okay? Okay. I can't tell if it's good or please raise it. Okay, maybe if we could raise the volume a little bit. I will try to speak clearly and distinctly in a big voice. Good morning to you all. It is very nice to see other people. Not so much of their faces anymore, but still, you can tell they're there, and that's what matters. Even during our strange pandemic time, people come to the temple through the week. So we have 2 weeks, and then we have a service, and then 2 weeks, and we have a service. And some of those folks are seekers. Some come because they're grappling with troubles. They might be specific troubles. Sometimes they're kind of general experience things. And sometimes, Reverend Shelley or myself, we're asked, what does Buddhism believe about the creation of everything? The most basic idea of Buddhism is easy. It is about impermanence and interdependence. All things impermanent and interdependent. Now, this is not a colorful story like there was nothing and then there was something, but it is a very fruitful understanding. It is useful. It can bring us to a rational explanation of why we are troubled with endless difficulties in life. It can show us how we can accept, minimize, and even let go the suffering and kvetching and just go to a joyful place. All things are impermanent and interdependent. When we see that, life is easier to live. The joy and humor in everything is more accessible. Like this morning, just before the service, when I thought maybe we need a little more ventilation. So I flicked the switch on the second swamp cooler fan, and everything went off. If I did not recognize that everything was impermanent and interdependent, that would be frustrating. I'd think, shoot, gosh darner, I have these people, and I'd feel bad because I should be doing this and I should be doing that, and they expect this and that. That was not my experience. I thought, the fuse must have dissolved. We should find it. And it took a little while, but we found it, and it's ventilating again. So the humor and joy in everything becomes more accessible when we access or understand impermanence and interdependence. The Buddha taught that everything in the world is the result of causes and conditions. Nothing exists without the causes and conditions necessary for it to be. The events we experience with joy and sorrow have causes and necessary conditions for them to happen or for them to be. Every object and event in the universe comes about this way. In our spiritual life, the vows of Amida Buddha are very important causes. They give us ready access to the Buddha's wisdom and compassion. And we'll talk about that at the end of my talk. About 2,582 years ago, Gautama Buddha said it this way: when this is, that is. This arising, that arises. When this is not, that is not. This ceasing, that ceases. Our tradition sees the world as a vast mesh of causes and conditions. Sometimes we can observe a series of these and in a chain of causes and effects, like when a child bumps his milk and it falls, and it falls on the floor and the dog laps up the milk. You can see those that's a clear sequence. But the whole universe of causes and conditions is well beyond our comprehension. Everything that is... I just wonder if a meteor is going to hit the temple today, because it's every little silly thing. I'm just trying to make it stop. Oh, it's my dear mother, but I cannot answer. She had to move to an apartment. Huh? Put her on speaker. That would be... she's 93, and that would be an interesting conversation. So, imagine, if you will, a child bumps their milk, it falls on the floor, the dog comes, laps up the milk. That's a series of causes and conditions we can understand. I'm just going back to where I was trying to get my head. That's easy to understand. But if you imagine everything that ever exists or occurs in each moment has a vast chain, I don't want to say infinite, but really, really, really big number chain of causes and effects that make it possible, well, at that point my head explodes. I can't think of that for everything. So, everything that is or that happens is interlinked with everything else. As Shinran said, it is beyond description, explanation, and conception. This is the Dharma view, not the usual view of the world and ourselves, but a glimpse of reality as it is, constantly occurring. That is the impermanent part. These phases of interdependence that make everything that is or will be happen or be or inter-be. We usually say that the causes and conditions interdependently co-arise. The old Buddhist word for this is paticcisamuppada. Paticcisamuppada. It is my favorite Pali word. Can you tell that? Paticcisamuppada. I just like it. It's also very important. Our lineage teacher, the Venerable Nagarjuna, said that what is interdependently co-arisen, that is what we understand as emptiness. So if you've heard the word emptiness in reading about Buddhism or Dharma talks and things, this interdependent co-arising of everything is what we call emptiness. That's a whole other Dharma talk of why we say that when things are completely intermeshed, they're empty, but they're empty of a separate self. I digress. Emptiness of separateness is at the heart of all things. The Buddha's simplest illustration of this is the 3 bundles of reeds. In the old days, a lot of people were farmers, and when you cut grain or rice or whatever, or reeds, you'd bundle them and then stand them up to dry. And so, with one bundle of reeds, you can't really stand it up to dry because it just falls over. And with 2 bundles of reeds, they lean against each other, but they fall over this way or they fall over that way. With three bundles of reeds, they can interdependently co-support. So, imagine that for the reeds to stand up, that is existence. They're intersupporting. Both are the cause and the condition of the standing. And if you take one away, it falls over. So that was the simplest, but everything is like that. Everything's existence is like that, interdependent. In every moment, everything does this. Everything interdependently co-arises. Planets, people, puppies, and perceptions. They're all part of this vast web of co-arising. This idea is important. It is very exciting to see the simultaneous becoming of everything in every moment. We do have a unique view of time and being than other people's creation stories. This is kind of different. But try to see this happening in each moment. It takes a little bit of a change of mind. The reason it's hard to see is because we look through limited eyes. from the limited self viewpoint. We gauge time based on a kind of cyclical delusion. What we call the self is our creation story. I'm not sure why I wrote that. Okay, that word is not one. So creation is not a word we use often. But it's interesting. The root of create is the Sanskrit kur. And that means to order or to organize. So maybe this is a creation story because it's the reordering, the reorganizing of everything anew in every moment that we experience. It's sort of like a painting. We don't make the paint, we get some paints, and then we order the paint that already exists on the canvas to make a picture. The picture is empty of independent existence because it is made from paint. We are empty of a separate self because we are made from the 5 skandhas, the 5 heaps. Those are form, sensation, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. That's what makes everything up. Everything is this changeful flux of these paints, the skandhas, writ large on a canvas of the universe that includes the canvas also. Empty of its own inherent existence, each bit mutually depends on all the other bits for its being. That means our dukkha, our suffering that we feel each day, is actually made out of the same stuff as sukha, our ultimate state of being truly human that we will reach. Buddhism does not need, accept, expound, or suggest a first cause. We do not accept any theory that there was nothing and then there was something. Instead, we revel in the vibrant recreation of the universe out of itself in every moment. When asked when the universe was created, our answer is just now. Just now. Just now. Reverend Shelley didn't think I'd do the third one, but I did. But it's true. In every moment, every thought moment, there is a recreation. And that's wonderful and amazing. So remember that the Buddha was not a philosopher. He didn't sit around thinking and theorizing about things for the sake of sitting and thinking and theorizing about things. He was a teacher. He dedicated his life to bringing all of us to clarity and understanding. And so, with understanding, we reach a state of eternal, joyful, selfless interbeing with all that is. He was trying to save us from ourselves. Have you ever had a friend who habitually mucks up their life and then tried to save them from that? Have you tried that before? Some people are nodding, you have that experience. How did that go? Yeah. So that's a fraught thing. They're just mostly pitfalls in that, with a glimmer of freedom. And that's the challenge that the Buddha took. So the Buddha is a savior of sorts. Not the magic kind, but the lifeguard kind. He sees us drowning in our own selfish duality delusion and wants us to be safe from that. Or he wants to save us from that. That said, the teaching on interdependent co-arising must be useful. It must help us, or the Buddha would not have shared it with us. How does this help us with our troubles? Through the Eightfold Path, we live in a way that helps us see the causes, that causes are present in effects, and effects that are present in the causes. When we see this, we experience insight into interdependent co-arising. And that's a just right view. In Southern Buddhism, we would say interdependent co-arising, or paticca-samuppada. Most of what I'm talking to you about, I learned the first time when I was studying in Sri Lanka in a little mountain monastery place. But in Northern Buddhism, in the Mahayana, we use the words emptiness or interbeing for this idea. Different words, but the same real meaning deep down. After hearing the Buddha teach about interdependent co-arising, Venerable Ananda commented, "The teaching of paticca-samuppada is deep and subtle, but I find it quite simple." The Buddha replied, "Not so, Ananda. The teaching of interdependent co-arising is most deep and subtle. Anyone who is able to see the nature of this co-arising is able to see the Buddha in all things." Once you can see into the nature of interdependent co-arising, you will be guided by your insight, and you will not lose your way in the Dharma. Impermanence is naturally baked in here. If everything interdependently co-arises in each moment, this vibrant creation is simultaneous with a vast destruction, because new stuff can't be made if the old stuff doesn't come apart. Everything that was a moment ago is destroyed so that everything can become anew now. We can really reflect on this. How could we live if we were not supported and nourished by the infinite causes and conditions? The conditions that make it possible for us to exist and to change and come from what is not us. So even from within our little I, me, my prison, we can recognize that all those causes and conditions, I'm not making those up. Those are happening from outside, from the rest of the universe. We have the word tariki in Shin Buddhism. It means other power. Beyond the self, other power. That is the nature of reality as it is. It is an other power realm. When we understand impermanence and non-self, we understand interdependent co-arising. Seeing impermanence and interdependence in all things is what Shinran Shonin called Monpo, deep hearing of the light. Look deeply at life without the distorting lens of the self. Look at all phenomenon with gratitude, and the self is not there. Think expansively of your connectedness to everything. After all, we are all in the same boat, the ship of the vow, as beings who the Buddha has managed to save. One of Shinran's great-great-great-grandsons recently wrote, "All things, the water and the air included, are linked together, one thing encircling and being encircled by the other. The mountain and the river give me many blessings. When Amida Buddha shines on me and all life, we are linked together. Lives saved by that light. All things on this earth, all things in the universe, are all in the realm of this great creative force, linking us all together." In this world, there is... I continue. Otani Sensei continues. "In this world, there is no life that was ever lived in vain. There is no life that is meaningless. All life is linked together. All of us share in the light that Amida Buddha shines upon us." When we see impermanence and independence in all interdependence, in all things, we see the wisdom of the falling leaf, and we can see compassion in a floating cloud. That inspires deep and abiding confidence, faith and trust in the great compassion of the Buddha. Our acceptance of interdependent co-arising is acceptance of ourselves. We realize that we are okay, just as we are, becoming and changing. The Buddha is available to us right now. We are already completely interconnected with everything. Duality is gone. Yay, enlightenment, bodhisvaha. Let us share the Buddha's great wish for all beings. You can make gasho. May you be happy. May you be free from harm. May you receive boundless compassion. And may peace and harmony fill your heart. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you all. In different times we would sing together, but today we will share in listening to our Reno Buddhist Center theme song. Reverend Alicia selected the song from How the West Was Won, which is kind of funny, but there's a whole story there. Another Dharma talk, we'll get into that one. So, Masako, if you please.
Away, away, come away with me, where the grass grows wild and the winds blow free. Away, away, come away with me, and I'll build. Come, come, there's a wondrous land for the hopeful heart and the willing hand. Come, come, there's a wondrous land where I'll build you a home in the meadow. The stars, oh how bright and far, on a world of pure and eternal love. The stars, oh how bright they'll shine on the home we will build in the meadow. Come, come, there's a wondrous land for the hopeful heart and the willing hand. Come, there's a wondrous land where I'll build you a home in the meadow.
Thank you all. I was going to check the order of service, but I do not have one for announcements. I think there's an announcement. Sherry, could you? Oh, thank you. Very helpful to have the announcements. And it's an important announcement. On Sunday, October 11th, which I think is next Sunday, from 2 to 4, there will be Pet Blessing Day. So people bring their pets to the temple, and out on the lawn we'll set up some chairs and flags and stuff, and we'll do pet blessings there. Any pet or domestic animal, I don't think we do farm animals, domestic animal is welcome to come. We do have large animals in the parking lot, so if they're in a trailer they can come, and we can do the blessing there. So that's always fun and exciting and often surprising when we see what the pets people bring. So thank you all so much. Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Namo Namo.